welcome once again to my channel, Fog's Business. My name is Ofosu Godwin, a marketing professional and a marketing tutor or a marketing trainer. Today we have another interesting topic that we are going to look at. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to comment, like and share. Today we're going to talk about social media marketing mistakes to avoid. Social media marketing mistakes to avoid. Most often it looks as if people see social media marketing to be more of those who are basically adept with how to use social media, how to post content on social media. But there are a lot more of marketing skills that are required for one to become a very good social media marketing person or a very good social media marketer. Now let's look at the social media mistakes to avoid. 1. Copying the competitor blindly. Most social media marketers copy their competitors blindly. That's one thing I have gotten to see. They tend to follow the competitor because the competitor has large number of followings or now large number of likes, large number of ratings, comments, and so on and so forth, or subscribers. But the question is, as a marketer, it is important to be able to understand your competitors from 3 different competitive levels. You should know who is a dominant competitor, who is the competitor who is in the strongest position, and the competitor who is in the weakest position. Most often we tend to follow only those in the dominant competitive position because we don't tend to sit down and look at the various competitive positioning that are available. The most funny thing and the most interesting thing is that most often the competitor that you are copying might have a lot of followers, might have a lot of comments, ratings, but have you seen his balance sheet? That's his large followership and his ratings and comments and views and shares reflect on his balance sheet. That you want to copy? That is another issue here. Most brands have copied their competitors blindly and tend not to, as a matter of fact, actualize their social media marketing objectives. You might not know whether the competitor had been in the system for long, is enjoy that first mover advantage or not. Or it could be probably that he has a lot of followers, but most of the followers are not within his target market. Right? It could be that they are not within his target market. And so don't copy the competitor blindly, because you don't know how much he has on his balance sheet, how much the kind of content that he posted or whatever strategy that he had put out there is reflecting on the balance sheet. You have not seen his balance sheet. So don't think copying him will be the best. And always make sure and understand that you have the difference, or you have been able to differentiate between a dominant competitor, a strong competitor, and a weak competitor. Each of them might have something to offer. So don't only focus on the dominant competitor by only monitoring or copying the dominant competitor. Mistake number 2 is that most social media marketers do not plan. So the second thing is not having a social media marketing plan. Marketing is a discipline that requires a lot of planning. In fact, without planning, you will not be able to, as a matter of fact, achieve your marketing objectives properly or within the time frame. So it is important to have a social media marketing plan, just like a marketing communications plan or just like a marketing plan. Most people, though sometimes even plan, do not even do any situation analysis to see their current position and their current footprint on the various social media platforms, and also that of their competitors. Like I said, a dominant competitor, a strong competitor, and a weak competitor. It is important, as a matter of fact, to do a situation analysis, and this should be part of your plan, but most people fail to do this in their plan. Some also do not set objectives. Some even set objectives, but the only objective they set is maybe or most often to generate revenue. I know which is the most important metric, but it's also important to set objectives for number of followers, shares, comments, and even, as a matter of fact, building a community within a specific period of time. It is important to have a smart objectives, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed objective when doing the social media marketing. But most social media marketers forget to do this. They also forget sometimes to also do a proper segmentation, which is also supposed to be part of the social media marketing plan. Segmentation is very important. That is breaking down the total market of social media users into manageable groups. So, for example, you can talk about demographics, age, sex, gender, and lifestyle. If you are talking about age and maybe gender, you should be able to know that social media platform A is the one that most ladies appeal to and they use the most, or is the one that people within that particular age or particular age uses the most. It is important to do a customer persona analysis. So you identify demographics, psychographics, that is behavioral, and so on and so forth. Most social media marketers do not plan this, do not put this on paper. Some also do not even include an action at all, even if they have a plan. Having an action plan as part of your social media marketing plan is very, very important. Proper scheduling of your post, and even how to post. Are you using the best method? Are you using the drip method? Or are you using the continuity method? You should be able to analyze the type of product or service that you are selling, and this will also let you know how to plan as to how to post on the various social media platforms. So most social media marketers do not plan. And like I said, marketing is all about planning. You need to plan. And it is important to plan when also doing social media marketing. Another very big mistake that most social media marketers do is not posting content that are shareable, not posting shareable content. That is why, like I said earlier on in the previous point, it's important to segment the market and know the kind of content that people will get on with and will be willing to share with their friends and their colleagues and other people within their community. You got to realize that 13% of most of the social media platforms, or 13% of your followers, or most of the social media platforms, either Facebook or Instagram or whatever, are not likely to interact with your post. So if you have 1 million, say, followers, you're not likely to have more than 500,000 people interacting with your post. You can cross-check most of the big accounts, and see. There are times maybe probably you could have people who are not followers too also. But if you have to look at your followers per se, you're not going to get no more than 60%, 70% of your followers actually interacting. Most often you have about between 13%, around 13% engaging with your post. Unless you boost it, which is also paid, right? So it is always important to post content that are relevant or that has relevant to the followers. Content on trends, what is happening or what is trending, right? Holidays and popular international days. For example, International Women's Day, International Men's Day. But I think International Men's Day is not too popular like International Women's Day. So some of these things would also, as a matter of fact, help to create some kind of relevant connection between you and your followers. Make sure you have high quality visuals and graphics that are relevant. And don't forget to remind these people or these followers to share. Most social media marketers forget about the fact that it's also important to also remind your followers or your audience to also share your content. Another mistake that most social media marketers do is not adding a call to action to their post. You have developed excellent graphics, excellent visuals, but you have no CTA, that is call to action. When we talk of call to action in marketing, we're talking of anything like a mobile phone number or an email or a WhatsApp line that the follower or whoever or the audience can easily get back to you or communicate to you. Most often it is important in these modern times to have a WhatsApp line, dedicated WhatsApp line or a phone line that your audience can communicate with you easily and very quick and convenient. If you post any message, try to add your call to action. Whether the message is relevant to your product and service or not, try to add a CTA to it. Most social media marketers don't do this. And it is important. It is one of the ways of converting new customers or new prospects into becoming customers. Don't forget to add a call to action. That is a mobile phone number or a WhatsApp line and to the Wes email. But I prefer a dedicated WhatsApp line, especially a WhatsApp business line and a dedicated phone line. So anytime you share a content, don't forget to add a CTA. This is very important, and this is a very good way of winning new customers or getting new prospects through the sales funnel. Another mistake that most social media marketers do is that all their social media posts and most of their social media engagement is all about their products and services. All what they post every day is about their services and about their products. Don't focus only on your content and even events that are related to your product. Don't focus your content only about your product and services and events or whatever that happens within your organization alone. You can also post relevant industry news, and most social media marketers refuse to do this. There are times that you also have to post relevant industry news. So if you are into hospitality, try to post something about hospitality. If you're into education, post something about education. If you are into, let's say, transportation, post something about transportation industry news. You can also link your post to blogs related to your industry. Try and also post latest data from better sources or from proper sources or from credible sources. Findings related to your industry, latest research findings, latest inventions, latest innovations related to your industry. This tends to make your audience or your customers feel valued. You see, one thing about social media marketing is that it has got that sense of community, that interactive community. Unlike traditional media where the audience cannot easily relate and then communicate back to you instantly. Focusing on your content alone too much sometimes may lead to habituation. They become too much overwhelmed with so much of your goods and services or your products. And this is not a very good thing. And it's one of the mistakes that most social media marketers make. The next thing, or the next mistake that most social media marketers make, is that they neglect and forget about their followers' comments. Even if they remember, it takes time for them to remember their followers and then reply to their comments, their worries and their concerns. These comments could be negative or positive. Now, if you have watched your Facebook business page, you realize that Facebook, for example, now indicates on the home page or on the home section of your Facebook business page, this is in green, and you find very responsive, or very responsive. This is telling you that responding or giving timely response to comments is also becoming a concern and a competitive advantage on social media platforms and in social media marketing. Your Facebook business page displays this nowadays. So if a potential customer who is very sensitive comes to your Facebook page and sees that you are not very responsive, it is not likely that that particular lead will be activated enough or will have the interest and the desire to take an action by, as a matter of fact, contacting your business to buy or to purchase your products. So never neglect followers' comments. Now on some of the platforms, for example, Facebook is now indicating and showing people's responsiveness or business pages responsiveness on their business page homepage. The last mistake that I want to talk about is brand inconsistency. And the brand inconsistency I'm talking here is in the brand dress and the brand logo and the tone of the brand and the voice of the brand. People make the mistake of not having a consistent brand dress and brand logo on the platforms or social media platforms they choose. If they go to Facebook, they have a mix of different brand colors. If you go to LinkedIn, mix of brand colors. If you go to Instagram, mix of brand colors. If you go to TikTok and many other social media sites, you realize that there are inconsistencies. They forget to understand that your brand dress should be consistent and your brand logo should be consistent. Inconsistency in the brand dress and logo might lead to a negative impact and a negative perception in the minds of of your audience and potential audience and even your customers and consumers. You might even be mistaken for an imposter account, as people these days come up with imposter accounts to mimic certain companies. It is important to, as a matter of fact, ensure that your brand dress, your logo, etc., and even your brand voice is consistent across all your selected social media platforms. This also brings into mind that it is also important to do a regular check on imposter accounts on your social media marketing platforms. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, help the channel grow so I can continue to give you free marketing advice and free marketing consultancy. It is free to subscribe. Just check down the screen. If you have not opened the full screen on YouTube, you find a subscribe button. Click on it so that anytime I release a new video, you get a notification and also continue to enjoy my free consultancy. Thank you very much for watching. Watch out for my next video.